Welcome to the audio version of our newest report. We hope you enjoy it. From OneNote to RansomNote, an ice-cold intrusion. Key takeaways. In late February 2023, threat actors rode a wave of initial access using Microsoft OneNote files. In this case, we observed a threat actor deliver iced ID using this method. After loading iced ID and establishing persistence, there was no further actions other than beaconing for over 30 days. The threat actor used Cobalt Strike and AnyDesk to target a file server and a backup server. The threat actor used FileZilla to exfiltrate data from the network before deploying Nokoyawa ransomware. The DFIR report services. We provide a range of services including private threat briefs, which includes 25 plus private reports annually. Another service we provide is our threat feed, specializing in tracking command and control frameworks such as Cobalt Strike, Metasploit, Sliver, and more. We also offer a private rule set which consists of exclusively curated rules using insights derived from private threat briefs and other internal cases. Contact us for a demo or free trial today. Case summary. This intrusion started in late February of 2023 and lasted through late March of 2023. The threat actor initially gained access through a phishing campaign in which they distributed emails containing malicious OneNote attachments. During this period, OneNote files had surged in popularity among initial access brokers. This rise was primarily due to their capability to circumvent email attachment blocking rules and evade detection by existing security mechanisms. Upon opening the malicious OneNote file and engaging with it, the file triggered the execution of a CMD file. This, in turn, launched PowerShell to facilitate the download of an iced ID DLL from a remote server. To evade detection, this DLL was disguised using various image file extensions. Following the execution of the downloaded DLL, a scheduled task was established to maintain persistence within the system. Notably, unlike prior iced ID infections, no discovery actions were observed at this time. For the next 21 days, activity was limited to command and control beaconing with no other actions detected. On day 22, the standard iced ID discovery, using Microsoft tools like Net, NLTest, CHCP, and System Info, was observed. Beyond this, no further activity was noted. On day 33 of the intrusion, the iced ID malware launched several Cobalt Strike beacons. These beacons, once active on the beachhead host, injected into numerous processes and initiated an Active Directory discovery operation. This operation used a batch script to execute a series of AD-find commands. Next, a PowerShell script was deployed to install AnyDesk. Following the installation, another batch script ran to relay the newly generated AnyDesk ID back to the threat actor. The threat actor then connected to the host using AnyDesk and began browsing files. The account they were logged in as had elevated privileges, since the original user, who inadvertently activated the malware, was a member of the Domain Administrators Group. Leveraging this access, they accessed LSAS on the host and proceeded with additional reconnaissance activities. These actions encompassed both command line queries such as net, who am I, and root, as well as GUI-based tools through the AnyDesk connection, including the use of Task Manager and the deployment of SoftPerfect Network Scanner, aka NetScan. After getting a list of hosts, the threat actor created a batch file to run NSLOOKUP for all the identified hosts. While that was running, the threat actor browsed file shares, looking at various documents, including files related to passwords. The threat actor then created a second batch script to run NSLOOKUP, this time targeting Windows servers specifically. Shortly after running this, the threat actor initiated their first lateral movement action, using RDP to connect to a backup server from their beachhead host. On the backup server, they used Internet Explorer to download a Cobalt Strike beacon and then they executed it. Utilizing this beacon, they proceeded to deploy and execute an AnyDesk installer package, identical to the one observed on the initial compromised host. Next, they pivoted to a file server and performed the same actions. On the file server, they continued to review documents, including insurance-related files. The threat actor then opened Internet Explorer on the file server and proceeded to download FileZilla. Utilizing the FileZilla client, they established a SFTP connection to a remote server, initiating the data exfiltration process. This marked the beginning of a prolonged data exfiltration operation that spanned several hours. Apart from the ongoing data transfers, activity significantly decreased until it resumed the following day. Approximately 18 hours after the initiation of the data exfiltration process, the threat actor deemed the activity complete and progressed to the next phase of their attack. They conducted another network scan utilizing NetScan. Roughly 2.5 hours post-scan, they initiated the preparation for a ransomware delivery. Leveraging their AnyDesk connection on the file server, they reviewed both the task manager and the local group policy manager before dropping a ransomware file on the host. Following this, they executed a batch script designed to launch the ransomware. Following the execution of ransomware on the file server, the threat actor re-established their connection to the backup server, conducting similar checks via task manager and local group policy manager before dropping the ransomware file. Next, they introduced and executed IO-Bits Unlocker utility, a move likely aimed at circumventing file locks imposed by the backup software. After using this tool, they followed the same batch script execution on this server as previously observed. After execution, they dropped and ran Process Hacker and then proceeded to open the batch file in Notepad++ before rerunning the batch script. Approximately 2 hours after the initiation of the ransomware on the file server, the threat actor revisited the system through their AnyDesk connection. In this return visit, they uninstalled FileZilla, signaling a move to cover their tracks. Next, they re-executed the ransomware on the host, and then opened the RansomNote on the server's desktop, verifying their objective was complete. Following this action, no further activities were detected from the threat actor regarding the ransomware deployment, indicating a strategic decision to limit the attack's scope to these 2 critical servers, rather than extending it across the entire network. From initial access to ransomware execution, we observed a time to ransomware, TTR, of 8-12 hours, just over 34 calendar days. One interesting thing to note about the command and control domain for Cobalt Strike is it was seized by Microsoft, Fortran, and Health ISAC a few weeks after this intrusion. On April 6, 2023, the command and control domain changed DNS to Microsoft with a domain registration name of Digital Crimes Unit. Read more about this in the command and control section. The next section of this report is not attainable in an audio format. Therefore, we recommend visiting the report on a computer when you have time. A link to the full report is in the description. Please consider leaving feedback via the link in the description and receive a coupon for $20 off anything in our store. Thank you for listening.